Well then, welcome everyone. I am Zeb, I am the DM. This is Chaos Incarnate. Technically, this is just a bunch of shenanigans, but details. I have some lovely players. We have Malachi playing Igroth, our
Fuck off.
blood hunter dragonborn.
Hi.
We have Zephyr playing Lucius, our wizard detective.
Hello.
We have Mahis playing Akron. He likes stargazing.
Hi there. This is apparently it.
We have Yumi playing Theodore. He's a kid with anger management issues.
That's an understatement.
Hey, how dare you?
Indeed. And we've got a dragon playing Misty, our Ganassi.
Oh, no, sorry.
Hello, bitches. I just realized, by the way, that Akron and Misty are the only ones without fucking last names. I just
Indeed.
looked over.
I feel like you noticed that earlier.
I was gonna say-
distinctly remember.
I distinctly
I'm pretty sure
remember
you
that
noticed
conversation,
that every
episode 1.
session.
Yeah, I distinctly remember some session where Dragon pointed that out. Like, wait, are we supposed to have last names?
That was the first.
I don't think-
that was the very first episode. That wasn't even the stuff that's on YouTube. That was like the one shot where Dragon noticed that.
I don't think that we all even I don't think we even know each other's last names in
Because
roleplay.
we also pointed out that it's the two sorcerers that don't have a last name.
Right.
Specifically, the two sorcerers don't have last names.
That's
I know
true.
that Lucius has definitely said his last
Yes,
name.
that
Honestly,
he's
it's a
the one that
union
has-
thing and we can't talk about it.
you know the laws of sorcery and shit. Like it's
No,
very
I
secret.
don't. I wasn't. I studied this shit. You guys just got it.
Chick, if you're looking at me, you're not going to have to do a spit take.
Because
Because you'll already be staring at me when I make the jokes.
I will say, I would like to petition for Acheron's last name to be Fluffy.
Oh.
Well, no, because then I feel like he has to add to his last name for everything he kills.
Oh, that's gonna be a long list. You just don't even know what the
It's
dragon
a
was
long
called.
fucking name.
Yeah, like y'all don't even know what the dragon's name was.
No, I'm hoping that
Stay.
it'll stay.
No.
I'm hoping it'll stay at Acheron Fluffy and he'll learn his lesson. Doubt it.
Man, just imagine one day maybe a party member's name will be added onto there.
I mean, I've already added Slayer of Dragons to my resume, so...
Slayer of
Indeed.
dragons, butcherer of horses, terrible interrogator.
The terror of possessed goats.
That goat wasn't possessed, it was polymorphed, thank you.
That's true.
That's
That's true. So, who would
Speaking
like
of-
to enlighten us about yesteryear's shenanigans?
I'll do it this time, I suppose. Effectively, last time we were reaping the rewards of our escapade in slaying a dragon on our way into this sort of very, very small village. We were entertaining the crowds with magic. We were drinking and eating, and Theodore had a kitten in his lap, so he wasn't allowed to go anywhere. We all rested. We all took baths. Some people went out and saw that the dragon's body had been taken by an individual who'd asked, I believe, Igroth about it earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Misty was finger painting with dragon's blood, which
Indeed.
means, for those who are not educated, it cannot be cleaned through regular means and is rather reactive to magic. So, yeah, she attempts to clean herself and waits and waits and waits, and Acheron is not there. So she goes out into the hallway and screams for him. Theo don't like that. So he takes a Bible and he throws it. And she is knocked out cold, and Igroth is once again on babysitting duty. The morning comes. Misty is confused and also annoyed, a mix of emotions, and orders the largest breakfast we have ever seen.
It was
Meanwhile,
magnificent.
It was like 3
Igroth-
silver.
Indeed.
Igroth sets up our new friend Octavian with some training, and Lucius, using his magical mage hand, sort of gives him a little bit of a warm-up, whilst Igroth goes to get ready for his own training. Once we've all eaten and practiced for the day, we're getting ready to go when we hear Theodore coming back from an exploration in town, who had gone to see the wizard, who lived, I believe, in a tower or a windmill on the edge
Windmill
of town.
repurposed into tower.
Thank you. On the edge of town, who he's very suspicious of, and talks about how the lands have been cursed, and people are blaming him. So Lucius and Igroth both do their own investigations. Lucius going to the farms and testing the plants and the soils and such. Igroth going with our druid friend to see the wizard and see if the wizard knows anything, which it doesn't seem like they do. Meanwhile, whilst investigating with Acheron and Theodore, we find a goat. A weird-looking goat who's just
Indeed.
staring at us. And after a little bit of an argument, Lucius thinks, fuck it. I will just identify the goat. Turns out the goat's an imp. It's a devil. It's a fiery bomb.
bit higher up than an imp, but
Mm.
It's an imp. As far as I'm it's a little devil boy. And so we kill it, and the goat is forced to retransform into its true devil self, thanking us for freeing it from its torture before poofing out in, I assume, back into the Nine Hells.
most likely.
And if anything happened after that, I don't remember.
More accurately, if I recall correctly, I shattered its spine and forced it to cough up a ruby.
Yeah, yeah, you did.
Yes.
Well, I was gonna leave that for the viewers to go watch the last episode to find out, but spoilers.
I
Weird
also
shit happens
remember.
when
I also-
Acheron does things.
I also may have accidentally made the wizard freeze his entire house. A little bit.
Yes,
Yeah,
there was that.
there
I
was
did
that.
Forget that. I
Yeah.
apologize.
No, you're fine. I figured I'd just bring it up since,
Yeah.
I don't actually know how I'm going to store that.
I also remember, what's it called? How you were not gonna identify anything about the goat until you were like, fine, I guess I'll do it. And then you did, and you found out it was an imp, and you had the funniest reaction ever.
I was like, yeah, no, okay. Because as far as I'm concerned,
We made a passing comment that it was a devil or a demon.
yeah.
And then Zephyr cast identify on it, and Seb goes, "It's a fiend."
As someone who's currently being hunted by fiends, die now, please. Thank you. Never come back.
I have to say,
That
the
sounds
entire
like a
discussion,
solution.
Acheron fulfilled your wishes.
like the entire discussion that led up to that,
No, we'll leave
finding
that
out
for
of it.
people to watch and find out about the discussion.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just saying that
absolutely.
whole discussion was amazing to listen to, at least from
Nice.
my end.
But yeah, if you want to know the details, go watch the previous episode, which is not on YouTube yet, but will be next week.
It is highlighted on the Twitch channel though, so you can watch it there.
Yes.
I mean, look this way. Hey, Malachi, at least you're not the only one with a new tattoo. Looks at Misty. Misty's forehead.
Well, it's not so
But
much a
not temple,
tattoo
thank
as
you very
it's a giant welt on her head.
We can make
Yeah.
a tattoo. I've got a magic
Potato,
quill.
potato.
I've got a magic quill that only I can erase. So I can make it a tattoo.
Yeah.
Theodora and
Mm.
Lucia sneak into the middle of the night, giggling and writing on her face with Sharpie.
That's how we bond.
Anyways. So. As where we left off, you were all, if I remember correctly, Lucius, Theodore, and Akron were going back to the fields, like trying to find the farmer.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I kind of want to try and observe if the killing said fiend has in any way alleviated whatever is tarnishing this land.
Okay, as you return to the field, give me either nature or arcana.
Think I'll go with Arcana. As a wizard.
Yes.
That is a 17.
Okay. You don't notice any immediate change.
Okay. Keep an eye on it as we keep going, I think.
Now, if I remember correctly, Misty was watching the cart.
She would be watching the cart, yes.
Yes.
With Octavian.
Is there anything you would like to do as you're watching the cart?
You know what? I feel like she would be trying to, the attire that Akron has so courteously procured for her that she was
Yes.
painting in, which are the shorts and and the actual adventuring gear. She's
Yes.
trying desperately to clean it out as much as possible without Akron noticing that it's covered in dragon blood again.
Okay.
So,
You know what?
she'll be sitting there,
You know what? Just for fun, give me an Arcana check.
an arcana.
Yes.
What did the dragon try to do?
She's trying to clean her clothes.
Oh,
Oh my god.
it's small.
What did you say again?
She missed the dice tray.
Oh,
Arcana, right?
yes.
I think I'm proficient in that, maybe. 16 total.
16 total. Okay, alright. I realized I forgot to ask, are you like cleaning it manually or are you trying to use magic some more?
She will be trying all possible. She's gonna take some soap. She's trying to scrub it out. She's trying to scratch it out. She's trying to magic it out. She is trying.
So I have good news and I have bad news. Which ones would you like to hear first?
Bad news.
Okay, you. It would have been so much funnier if you'd gone with the good. Anyways,
Okay, good news. And good news then.
good news. You're pretty sure it's clean.
Oh.
The bad news
Okay.
is that you can't tell because all the clothes have taken on the color of dragon's blood.
Oh. Like
no.
the red anyway. Matches mine's blue skin color.
Yeah, it's all just soaked up, and now you're walking around in blood red clothing.
Okay, that's a nice evolution of things. She, yeah, you know what? She will be very happy about it, and hope that she just will notice. I mean,
Alright. Alright then. And as that is happening, Igroff,
Yes.
if I remember correctly, you were leaving the wizard's
Yeah,
place.
we were just leaving the wizard's place.
Yes. Where would you go?
So, I'm actually going to be heading towards the farm. I'm going to ask Legsy to sort of just keep a feel out for, because I assume Legsy's gone back to fox form.
Mm.
So
Yes.
I'm gonna ask him to just keep a feel out and see when the magical energy starts, or the magical disruption, the necrotic draining.
Yep. So I would say it's about like how to describe it? Like 2/3 of the way through the like hamlet. Let's call it a hamlet. Like about 2/3 through the hamlet where the little fox form makes a. I don't know what to call the sounds foxes make. A part of me really wants to make a reference, but I won't do it. Anyways, it like she makes a little noise. Is that about a third from the border of the hamlet, so to say?
Okay.
And so yeah, you make your way towards the farm. As you get there, you would notice a little off in the distance. You would notice Lucius and company, kind of making their way towards the farmer, who's currently standing amidst a group of other individuals. Like there's a small gathering, like on the kind of on the side of the field. It all seems to be having quite the discussion amongst themselves.
Yeah. I'm gonna head towards now you said there was cows and goats and crops.
Yeah, like this particular field is it's one of the outlying ones, like further off, which is one of the few areas, like few fields where they're actually growing crops. Most of the farmlands around here is more centered around like livestock.
I want to find one of the goat farmers.
No, it's like, are you going off to try and find a goat farm, or are you like going towards the group to see if any of the
No.
goat farmers?
I'm gonna go try and find a goat farmer.
Okay. And as Igroff is looking for a goat farmer, Lucius and company, you all make your way towards the small gathering of I was about to say townspeople, but I don't know if they count as townspeople. This isn't really a town. Anyways, so you make your way towards there, and Lucius has a very high passive perception. He would have noticed this conversation on the way there. There seemed to be in an argument. The farmer you all spoke with earlier is kind of like has brought up to the other farmers like the idea that maybe like do you think we might have been wrong about the wizard? And they're all kind of nah. He's clearly like corrupt and a dick and all that. So they're having quite the argument.
Gonna look to Theo and Acheron and how do you two think we best handle this?
Well, I feel like there's a question that needs to be asked, and then other than that, I feel like we should just come clean and explain that he, particularly to do with the goat, he had nothing to do with it.
Trying to
Your
think what to say.
thoughts? Cool.
I think the wizard possibly might know what might be going on, but I have no idea. I think people are just kind of being assholes to someone they don't even know.
I get similar feelings. I will let you two do the talking.
Oh,
I will keep an eye on the crowd, see if I notice anything out of place.
Alright, can you guys give me 1 second? I just need to get some hot water.
Okay.
Not a problem.
As we wait for Yumi to return, Igroth, you make your way to one of the closer like farms that seem to have a decent amount of goats.
Hmm.
There's a somewhat I wouldn't say elderly, maybe like mid to late 40s, like man who's just kind of standing by a fence, just looking at the goats. Some of them being quite dickish to one another. He seems to be somewhat amused by the sight.
Hmm. Hello, sir.
Yes.
I was wondering,
I'm back.
Welcome back.
approximately how much would it cost you to purchase a goat?
Cost me to purchase a goat.
Yes.
It's been quite a while since I had to purchase a goat. I mean, just gestures to the large number of goats that are in the middle of doing goat things. I'd say, well, it depends. Are we talking big goat, small goat, healthy, sick?
Let's say big and healthy. For the sake
Big
of
and healthy. Well, it's at least a few silver. No, it depends if it's. It depends really. What are you asking?
Could I pay you 2 gold to take one of your goats off your hands?
He's just staring at you.
Pull out 2 gold. I'm not joking.
Which one do you want? The gestures to all the goats.
Makes no difference to me.
Alright, Then just places his fingers in his mouth, like gives off this very high, like whistling noise. All the goats just kind of stop and rush over to where he's standing. And just kind of stands there and looks over them like he's trying to like he's just looking all of them over, trying to discern something. No.
Wait, what?
Kind of as the like half leans down and as places his hand like on the head of one of the goats, and he kind of just I wouldn't say well, kind of gently, like he has kind of like he doesn't grasp the head of it. He just has his like the palm of his hand placed on its head, and he just walks along the fence, and the goat just follows. The others follow for a little while until they realize that there's no food. He has whistled. And the others, fuck off to do their things. But the goat he has a hand on is still like, kind of following, looking very happy for a goat.
Hmm.
It's it looks to be it's one of the bigger ones. And kind of
Nice.
leads it over to one of the gates to the pen. Well, it's this one here. I think this is. Are you Jeremiah or are you? No, Jeremiah has the little gray on the. Okay, this is John. Let's say it's John.
Sure.
I keep
That
forgetting
works.
who is who.
That's quite alright.
Kind of opens a little gate to the pen quickly. Just leads it out closest to the pen. like you don't even know where he got it from. He just like has this like that's what I'm looking for, like this leash.
Mhm.
And like collar that he has to quickly place. Like just that you don't really know where it got from. He just suddenly had it in his hands and he's places it around its like the leash, not leash, the that collar around his neck. Hands you the leash, and holds out a hand for the gold.
I'll put the 2 gold in his hand.
He
Say, pleasure
he
doing
quite
business.
literally, yeah, he's quite literally giggling to himself. And it's kind of waves at you like, pleasure doing business with you.
Pleasure doing business with you too. I will take my goat. Is Lexi still with me?
Yeah.
Lexi, you don't perchance know how to cast polymorph, do you?
Lexi just whisks their little fox head to the side, like, looking at you very quizzically.
I feel like if Misty sees this, she's going to get attached. Which could be problematic.
He just kind of like nods his head a bit.
I realize I'm saying this to a druid.
Indeed, indeed. That is. Oh.
You know what? It's okay if you can't. I've got another idea.
D&D Beyond is being a little wonky with me right now.
Are you seeing if it's a druid spell?
I'm trying to see, like, I'm trying to get his character sheet open, but it won't let me open it
Okay.
because my subscription ran out, and so I have too many characters. I need to select which ones I want to, be able to use. It is annoying, but Where is it? Hold on, I'm just
Oh yeah,
selecting
it is a druid spell.
characters. Yes, I'm just. That should be right. Let's see. I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Let's see if he. Yeah, no, he does not.
Okay.
He shakes his head.
No worries. I'll sort this one out. Going to
Okay.
head back to the group.
Yep. So as he's done that, we go back to Lucius and company. Now Yumi's back.
Yeah.
So Yumi and Akron, you were approaching the people to talk.
So yeah, I'm just going to walk straight up to the guy who I'm pretty sure we know owned the goat.
Right. I will say this. You don't actually know who owned the goat specifically. Like, you just heard that there was, a goat and it's been walking around. Like, it hasn't been in any of the pens. It's just been walking around by itself.
In which case, I'm going to walk up to the townspeople. So I've got a quick question about that goat that had been giving you guys some trouble.
They'll kind of, stop the conversation, turn around and look at you. Some of them look like a little confused, but others just kind of nod to themselves. Like, no one really steps forth to, like, engage in conversation. They're all just kind of staring at you.
When did it show up? particularly in relation to this wizard that you claim had been giving you trouble.
Goat? It's how long has the goat been here? I don't know. It's I know that my old pa used to talk about it a lot. Yeah, but did he ever say when it showed up? No, I don't remember. Like they all kind of start talking amongst each other. Like it's the discussion kind of quickly. I wouldn't say spirals, but it becomes very clear that none of them have any clue.
But I'm gauging that it's definitely been here longer than the wizard at this point.
Oh yeah, it's been here a long while. It's very weird.
Well, I've got good news on both fronts then.
Oh?
That's why I've got that much. So good news number one, it's no longer possessed, and in fact was never possessed.
Oh, good. That's good.
This is where the mixed good news, bad news point comes into it. It was in fact a polymorphed demon, but it has been banished back to its plane.
I would like everyone present to roll me insight.
Oh no. So it's just me and Akron, or?
No, Lucius
I'm
is there.
I'm
He says,
not-
Oh, you're there too. I'm sorry. I thought you
Yeah,
were.
he-
with
he's
I
just-
fucking-
yeah, like he's there. He's just staying back a bit. Like he's letting
us
you
do our thing.
two.
Okay.
22.
14.
19.
Okay. All right. They're all like how best to describe it? They're all kind of shocked. Some of them, for a moment, are borderline panicked. But when the rest of what you said kind of factors in there, and realize that okay, so it's been banished. Like they're kind of they all start looking at each other. When did this fucking goat show up? I don't know. Like, has it been a demon the entire time?
That is how something being turned into something else works. Once it's that object until it turns back or is killed.
Just kind of start like just talking amongst each other. Like low-key freaking out, but at the same time being amazed that what the fuck, we've been living with a fucking demon in our town this entire time. And they're start discussing amongst themselves. Are you sure it's banished?
Oh,
We
quite
saw it.
certain.
Okay. Well, thank you. It's holy shit. How have none of us noticed this before? I mean, it's been weird for I don't know how long.
Probably because it was a goat.
Yeah, goats are pretty weird.
So,
Yeah.
what made you think? So, I have a question for you, townspeople.
Yeah.
Is this just one of the things that was mentioned? So, I have a question. First of all, out of character, was this one of the things they were talking about when talking about the wizard, or was that not related?
It's the wizard mentioned like when you kind of not really talk to him, but when I kind of talk to him, like
He mentioned it,
first
though.
he said that he has not poisoned, like cursed the crops. He has not killed any of their cattle, and he hasn't possessed the goats. It's probably still possessed, but he had nothing to do with it.
The wizard mentioned something about how he hasn't possessed any goats. Who made that claim in the first place if you thought the goat was acting weird?
Well, I mean, it's been acting weird for a while, but it's really starting acting up once he showed up.
So your first instinct is to go against someone who has magic powers?
I mean, yeah. I mean, look around. I mean, weird shit has happened ever since he showed up.
Yeah. He's just gonna roll his eyes.
And one of the farmers kind of steps forward. I lost my left foot. I got better.
How'd you lose your foot?
Like he says that, like he steps forward, he says that. You notice that he still have both feet. Like everyone kind of looked at him, and then he's like, "I got better." Kind of shrinks back. Doesn't answer your question, just kind of shrinks back a bit.
Again, my friend Theo here was more trying to ask, who was the first person to accuse the wizard of possessing the goat?
I don't know. I guess we all kind of figured.
You all figured?
I mean, started acting very weird once he showed up. I mean, it's always been weird, but it said it's really weird once he showed up. Just kept staring at him and other people. Before then, it usually just ran into things. It once managed to topple a house. I don't know how it did that, but it did.
So he's trying to like put himself together. This goat did all this weird stuff, and you're so surprised that there was a demon pretending to be a goat.
It's just a goat. I mean, what? Goats are weird, man.
Maybe you guys do need the wizard here. I feel like you guys are like a lost cause without any help.
They kind of, look at his shadow. Like, most of them look insulted. A few of them kind of, nod along, like, yeah, probably.
They can't intimidate Theo. They can try.
Here's I suggest at some point as a town you come together and put forward an apology to the wizard.
Should we apologize to him? Sure, maybe it had nothing to do with the goats, but what about the crops? What about the livestock?
Have you considered that maybe you guys just have bad farmers? One of them didn't even know that he had 2 feet.
Did I just hear Mahez right?
What?
Did Mahez just cast a spell?
No, I did not.
Okay.
No?
I thought you said I cast suggest.
No, he has said,
Oh.
I suggest.
Right.
Yeah, Malachi associates that phrase just with the spell at this point.
I mean, come on, we have to. We have to. With Rai running around,
get it.
it's like we have to. It's paranoid.
Why do you think so? Why do
She
you
does
think
kind of use
so?
suggestion the way some people eat M&Ms.
Oh, wow.
It has gotten to the point where I have had to, in some, not all, but in some cases, artificially give creatures immunity to charm because, like, you can't just keep doing this, man.
I see. Yeah.
Technically can.
I will
Technically
say,
can't, you'll run out of spell slots.
Akron, on persuasion.
Persuasion. Yeah, I've got that. 18.
Okay. They like most of a fair few of them still look like fairly insulted by the proposition of apologizing to the wizard. Though a few of them seem to be second guessing themselves.
Okay, here's a theoretical. Before you had somebody to blame, were you still having issues with your crops?
Kind of like look at it. Not look at shadow. All of them kind of turn to the farmer, like they talked to earlier, who actually owns the field. It seems to think about it. I mean, bad harvest happens sometimes, but this harvest was actually going pretty good, and then he showed up, and suddenly it all just started dying.
Have you even tried asking him for help?
Have you talked to him?
I have.
Yeah, and so do you honestly think if we asked for help that he would actually listen?
Maybe if you were nicer.
Maybe if he was nicer. This wizard, I swear. That's because he knows a little bit of magic. He thinks he's better than everyone else.
I'm almost tempted to ask if there's a blank open section of field that wouldn't, necessarily have anything too terrible happen to it if I were to cast Fireball. But that's an entirely unrelated issue.
Have you checked anything related to the land to make sure it was all okay?
I mean, it rained not too long ago, so it can't be that. We have a few wells that are fairly stored up.
What about where you're growing the crops? Like the ground?
Grown the crops where we've always grown the crops. Said, usually doesn't. This doesn't usually happen. If it's a bad harvest, it usually shows fairly early on. This is, because gestures. This is almost harvesting season, and it's all just dying all of a sudden. I would say that it's about this time when Igroth shows back up to the group.
Hi, everyone.
Wait, do we notice the
you-
goat?
You have a goat in tow, don't you?
Yeah, you do notice the goat.
there
The
is
goat
a
is actively trying to tackle his leg.
You
should
will
keep that-
see Lucius do a double take. Like an active oh hang on, hold up.
You should keep that away from Misty. She might try to eat it.
I'm just going to look
I have
at
a
Lucius
I have a contingency plan for Misty.
Why do you have a goat?
Wait a minute, didn't we just kill that?
No, it's clearly a different goat. The goat you killed
Wait.
had more black in its fur.
I have a question. Do the townspeople just think that's the goat and freak out because they think we're gonna kill them all?
No, they've lived there. They know what the goat looks like.
Okay.
They are
See,
a
this is
little
how a goat
confused
acts,
why he's
people.
walking around with a goat, but none of them are outwardly questioning it.
I trust your adventure was enlightening, Igroth.
It not really, although I did meet well, I didn't actually meet them. I saw them. A Juliet appears to be like an apprentice of the wizard.
You see the farmers kind of look and say, "You mean Julia?"
Could be.
How do you know this girl?
Well, it's Janice's daughter. Is
Janice?
yeah, they kind of point towards one of the farmsteads a little bit out of the settlement. Like lives over there. He's he's been kind of he's convinced that the fucking wizard kidnapped her. She left to live with him and study magic, and she refuses to come home. And it's it's the wizard. They kidnapped
Are you
children, right?
people so bored with your lives that you decide to make up false claims because you have nothing better to do?
Hold up. Now, I can assure you, as someone who has quite literally been inside that house and seen all kinds of magic, I can tell you now that this wizard seems to mean no harm. And believe me, there are far freakier things than a wizard in this town right now.
Persuasion.
One less than there was about an hour ago. I'm going to say, looking at Egroth.
What do you mean?
We found the possessed, and I'm actually going to do the whole air quotes thing. Goat that was mentioned was not a possessed goat.
Persuasion, you said?
Yeah.
24.
Oh. Okay. You Yeah, no, most of them, like especially the ones that seem to be second guessing themselves, are kind of looking around. Some of them looking a little embarrassed or sheepish. Like
Better
here's the
than
thing.
looking
Like,
goatish.
yeah.
But Tish.
Yeah, like here's the thing. The fucking dragon slayers, the heroes of the community, are just here, and they're like, yeah, no, the wizard isn't that bad. So yeah, some of them are actually starting to
I'm
have
a
to
blood
second-guessing
hunter.
all of their beliefs. Yeah.
I'm arguably more weird.
Oh yes.
And inarguably more dangerous.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But you mentioned this Julia's father has been unhappy about her apprenticing under the wizard.
Well, I mean, she's his youngest, you know. The other two, they've left already. Can you blame him, really?
Out of curiosity, would you say that the weird occurrences happened closer to the wizard arriving, or closer to Julia becoming the wizard's apprentice?
Kind of looking at each other, seems to be thinking. If there were like most of them seem to give up on trying to come up with an answer, like either shrugging, shaking their heads. One of them, kind of, really think about it. You can almost see smoke pouring out of his ears. It's like,
I can arrange that.
I guess so. I mean, let's see, the wizard showed up, but almost 2 months ago at least. I mean, she started hounding him around the settlement fairly early, if I recall. Started. Yeah, no, I guess it was a few weeks after he showed up that things started going wrong, and maybe.
Hmm. Interesting.
You don't think it's her, do you?
I'm
I mean,
sure it's
Julia's
nothing,
a sweet
but
girl. She wouldn't hurt a fly.
I'm sure it's nothing, but we do like to be thorough when we investigate something, and we have to look at all options. I'm sure it's nothing, but better to be safe than sorry. Am I right?
To that end, how much have you seen her father recently?
No, Janice. Saw him yesterday. It was, a big celebration. Though he left fairly early. Not in the celebrative mood.
Wait, what name was that you just gave?
The father is
Yeah.
Janice.
Did we've heard that name before?
Yeah, when you were asking the blacksmith after a crossbow, he said that Janice might have one.
Janice might have one.
And
I knew
and
I
he
heard that
was
name
about to
before.
say something when Misty butted in.
I've been trying to place it the whole time and I've not been able to.
Yep. The second I heard it, I'm like, I have heard this name before.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, the blacksmith got as far as to, Janice might have one, but and then Misty
and
offered
then
you
Misty,
hers.
interrupted.
Yeah. My issue was because I wasn't there, I didn't write it down. So.
Yep. Okay.
I don't suppose you could point us in the direction of Janice's farm or house.
It's right over there, and point. It's one of the farms that are a little bit outside of the main kind of hamlet.
I'm gonna let you all go on ahead. I trust you all implicitly. I need to go do something out of town. See ya. And I'm gonna walk off with this goat in tow.
Okay.
Are we really gonna let him go alone?
I mean, he's handled a cloud giant on his own, I have no doubt.
Okay.
And I'm gonna head in the direction of this Janice's place.
I will follow.
I will also follow. What's Misty doing? Is Misty just singing
Yeah.
songs?
Well, Misty
Well,
is
He's
in the
got
middle of.
Percival's company.
Not gonna
no.
lie,
Oh,
I was
oh,
very curious
Percival.
to see if someone would follow.
And I mean, hey, she also has Octavian and Daedalus by the
Oh
card.
no.
I do.
Yes, they stay by the
Oh
card.
said that.
no.
Oh wait! I remember last session.
Yeah.
I was telling Octavian all the facts about vampires, how to slay them.
That's
She
right. You
was.
were
I remember
Yes.
that.
There you go.
So I'm going to continue on my lecture in my brand new red ballroom.
Yeah, I imagine that
Sorry.
while you were explaining it, you were also cleaning the clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
If an owl could facepalm.
For now.
And you know, if you happen to ingest like huge amounts of poison, if a vampire does bite you, he actually gets poisoned himself. As long as it's in your bloodstream, it's a matter of like alcohol, you know. So a good way of fighting off a vampire that is trying to get you is poison yourself to the brink of death. And he, as soon as he bites you and drinks the blood, he is going to drop dead himself. That is
Why
a
not just
fact.
fill your bloodstream with drugs? let the vampire on a trip.
I'll tell them to you.
There's an entire book series about that, but let's move.
Oh, the
And
great.
Octavian thinking right now.
Oh, you know, he knows very little about vampires, like actual facts about vampires, so. And sure, he knows Misty is, well, Misty, but the way she's talking about this is with the utmost conviction, like, yeah, no, I studied this shit, I know this shit. So he doesn't honestly know what to believe, but he's kind of
I
getting
call
more and
for
more
it.
freaked out.
Seb, I know you didn't call for it, but I rolled a persuasion. It's a natural 20 for a total of 28 for persuasion. I know you didn't call for it, but I feel like Misty is very adamant and very passionate about talking about vampires.
I mean, she is, as I said. Yeah, no,
I'm not
my
gonna lie,
previous
yeah.
words still stand.
Fucking God. I have never seen someone pine so hard for a nat 20 that they were not asked to roll.
I know, but still.
Fuck me
I mean, it kind of fit,
sideways.
but still, yeah. So, yeah, no, as Misty is doing that, Igrof is going out into the fields with a goat. I will say Igrof. The little fox form of Lexi is kind of walking beside you, kind of looking up at you, a little inquisitive. Inquisitive? I don't know.
Inquisitively, yep.
Yes.
So I'm heading out to a point where no one can see me. Like,
Okay.
to the point where I can, like, I want to head out a long way.
Alright. So, basically past the actual, like, farmland fields and just out into the open. So, well, not really open, but
Yep,
the surrounding wilderness.
yep.
Okay. Do you let Lexi follow you, or do you tell him to go away?
No, I would have advised Legsy to follow the others.
Okay.
Legsy doesn't want to see this.
Oh no.
Oh, not
The,
no.
the druid doesn't want to see this.
Indeed.
So,
So,
I'm gonna take my rapier.
Yes.
I'm going to drive it through the goat's neck.
Yes.
And I'm then going to drag the goat around in a circle, drawing a nice little blood circle on the ground.
Dude, that goat
Yeah.
was so happy.
Anyone else can see it?
No,
Seb
we all
literally-
left him alone.
Seb literally said, like, that goat seems really happy for some reason. And you just stabbed it through its neck.
The goat didn't
Where,
know.
where is he doing
Far away, out in the
Far
world.
Right out
away.
of town, yeah. Yeah.
that? Oh,
He specifically went somewhere he would not be seen. Justice for Billy!
All I'm gonna say, Zeppa, is you're welcome. You're welcome. Okay?
Oh,
I spent 2 gold on this. You're
We'll
welcome.
we'll find out on Thursday.
Oh
So-
my God.
So yeah, I'm basically I'm draining this goat of its blood to make a blood circle.
Yeah.
And
There
preparing.
are some
to-
finer details that needs to be made, but
Mm.
you have plenty of blood to do them with.
Yes, I have a full goat's worth.
Yeah.
And I am going
How
to.
Blood does the average goat have?
Well, let's look that up. So, how much blood does a goat have? Okay.
Got lots.
About 17 kilograms of blood. That'd be like
17. Okay, yeah.
it's in 70.
Oh, 70. I was 17.
Yeah, 70.
Wow, my brain went
Yes.
somewhere
No,
completely
you're
different.
fine. Yeah.
So
Okay.
plenty.
Yeah, plenty. Yeah.
And I'm going to call out into the hells.
Yeah.
I
As
wish-
you're in the circle, you see this kind of vague outline of an individual just kind of appear before you. It's like kind of steaming off the blood. There's this kind of vaguely humanoid shape of just red mist. And kind of, like, sometimes it becomes more humanoid, sometimes it just kind of disperses a bit. It kind of, flickers in and out.
Mhm.
And you kind of, just hear from it, well, I did not expect you to be calling again. Quite a while.
Quite a while indeed, old friend.
Oh, by what pleasure do I owe your presence?
Remind me, what is the name of the archdevil?
You don't know?
Zephyr.
He's
I
never-
do know. He has mentioned it. He
Zar-
mentioned it.
Zariel.
Yeah.
Zariel.
He mentioned it in the in
That's
the
what you meant.
in the room.
I thought you meant the devil you're currently contacting.
Oh no, I haven't got a clue. Yeah, no, Zaria.
Yeah.
Tell me, what's your alignment to Zariel?
Oh my. Now, pray tell, why are you asking that question?
Answer my question, I'll answer yours.
Let's say we are on a complicated footing with one another.
Complicated. Would you like to
If
complicate
you're-
it further?
Depends.
Well, Zariel has a bit of a problem with someone that I have been charged with keeping alive. So that's a problem for me.
Interesting. Well, you have, well, you've always had a knack for dangerous assignments. Well, you didn't balk about cleaning up that little list of mine, so sure. Who is this individual, if I might ask?
You might not.
Oh, a mystery then. Well,
We just need to kick Zariel down a few pegs.
if only I could. If only I could. But if I were to be a nuisance, an inconvenience if the time were to come, what would you be willing to give me in return?
What would you ask for?
Well, I'm in a rather fortuitous position at the moment, though I don't rightly know. We could work out the details at a later date once it becomes applicable. Unless you have something in particular to offer that you've been holding out on.
Leave that with me for now. I will contact you again.
Very well, I will have something nice drafted up.
I appreciate it.
Going after Sariel, you bold little dragon, you.
Didn't make my name by hiding in the shadows.
Well, we both know that is not entirely true.
You're not wrong.
You fascinate me evermore, little one. You fascinate me evermore. Well, I will look forward to our next call. He kind of disperses.
Gonna grab a bunch of just dry grass and shit and sort of make a clearing so as it doesn't spread. But I'm gonna pile everything on top of this circle. I'm going to prick my finger against the imperfection on the blade. And it is going to... Where is it? I'm going to activate my Crimson Right. My Right of the Flame. My blade is going to catch fire. And I'm going to burn the circle and the goat.
Alright. Whatever wolves or other predators in the area, they have missed out on a good goat.
Yep, they have. That sounds like their problem.
Yeah.
And I'll disperse the flame and head back to find the others.
Alright. And as Igroff has been off on his own shady dealings, Lucius and company. Or should I say Akron and company? Akron was the one who initiated. Anyways, the others. You are moving towards, Janus's house, or Janus's farmstead.
Indeed.
Yes. You, as you arrive, you see that he seems to be mostly a pig farmer. There's a lot of pigs around. And you see the man himself kind of sitting on a chair out on his porch. He is currently fiddling with a crossbow, looking quite unhappy.
I will sort of leave it for Acheron and Theo again for the moment, I think.
Good day to you, sir. You wouldn't happen to be Janus, would you?
Who's asking?
One of the people who saved your town from a dragon.
He kind of, lifts his head to look at you. Really? Well, good day to you. What have I done to deserve such company?
We've been investigating some of the other issues that have been troubling your town and just wanted a few words.
You mean the fucking wizard?
Oh, how'd you know?
Isn't it obvious? He shows up and everything goes to fucking hell.
That's rather presumptuous, don't you think?
Were you the one that started all that?
He kind of, looks at all of you. Why are you fucking here? What do you want?
Well,
I
as
do.
I said,
No, please, Akron, you go, please.
as I said, we have been investigating matters, including all the rumors related to the character of the wizard. Funny thing you should say about the town going tell, because before he even arrived, you were playing host to a demon. But, we've taken care of that. There was a goat that people were thinking the wizard had possessed. Turns out they hadn't. It had been transformed. It was a demon, had been transformed into a goat. The goat has now been, the demon has now been banished.
Kind of, leans back in his chair. Fuck, what the fuck do we even say to that?
I've
You're
no
sure?
doubt that, you have issues with the wizard in regards to, your daughter apprenticing under him, but I was hoping to come to you and talk to you civilly about what kind of events were happening before the wizard have arrived versus what has happened since the wizard has arrived.
Okay. What has happened before the wizard arrived? Same old that has happened since my father's father's father moved to this land. Pigs are fat and happy, growing ever fatter and happier. And other farms doing just as well. The occasional squabble, pig stolen here, someone accidentally killed an animal there, someone accidentally took home the wrong cow from the field, normal.
Goat knocks over a house.
That old story. It isn't as dramatic as it sounds. The house was in bad condition as it was. All it did was knock over a single supportive pillar or something, and the whole thing collapsed.
You see how things can get blown out of proportion just from either hearsay or looking at the event the wrong way.
Yes. Then tell me, after he arrived, the crops started dying, the cattle started growing weaker, and some of them dying. And kind of, points to some of the pigs that are just laying, they're just laying down on out in the fields, just laying there, not moving or anything. Half the time, I don't know whether they're living or dead these days. So tell me, what can do that if not a wizard?
I have a question. Did you
Hmm.
try? Did the people and you just immediately assume it was the wizard, or did you try talking to the wizard about it before you made these assumptions and started attacking him?
Or like he would admit to any of it.
So my guess is you didn't talk to him. You just assumed.
Some of us tried, and do you know what he said? He told us to go away, that he was busy.
Hmm.
But tell me, should we go to him with all of our problems just to be told to fuck off every single time?
No, but are all of your problems related to magic?
Mine? Yeah, I do think so.
Just one final question, and then we will leave you to your lovely day that you're having. Uh, you say the problems happened directly as a result of the wizard arriving. Now, some of the villagers that we've talked to have said it actually took a few weeks before any of the signs to even start showing themselves.
That is correct. He showed up, and he
At
was just stayed up in his fucking windmill all day, not doing anything. And then, slowly but surely, all of this.
At what point did he take your daughter under wing as an apprentice?
Julia. She's always been fond of, the old stories, tales of fae and dragons and all that. And then a real fucking wizard shows up. Of course, she was enamored from day one. I told her to be careful. We don't know anything about this one. But no, she would follow him around whenever he was spotted around and nagging him with all kinds of questions. And then one day he just gave her a book. I didn't find out for a week after that, and, well, I may not have handled it the best. And then she left to live with the fucking wizard. I've tried to talk to her. I've tried, but she refuses to see me.
Just to be clear, that was also within a few weeks of his arrival? This all happened in a very quick time frame?
Yes, that was, I don't know, maybe almost 3 weeks after he had arrived. It's all a blur now, really.
And what about her mother?
Theo, I think we've we've asked enough of the poor man. We've got many other places to visit.
Yeah, he's just kind of, looking down at the crossbow he's been kind of fiddling with. Kind of looks up at all of you. Please get the fuck off my property.
Of course, sir. We are sorry to have bothered you, and thank you for asking our questions.
He just kind of glares at you.
And I'm going to look pointedly at Lucius while trying to escort Theo back in the direction of our carriage, at least.
Yeah, I'll sort of give Acheron a sort of go on ahead. Give me a moment. Go over to him and sort of say, "Show me the animal you are beyond doubt is cursed."
Kind of, looks up at you. His kind of features softens a bit as he, recognizes you from some of the previous times you've been through. And he kind of sighs, stands up, and walks out into the pig's pen.
Mm-hmm.
And he walks up to one of the pigs that is, one of the ones that is just laying completely motionless on the ground. Like it's still living, it's still breathing, but it's just laying there, like almost catatonic.
And I will ritual cast identify.
Okay. Yeah, as you're casting that, once the 10 minutes are up, I guess, how must I describe it? It is kind of like slowly but surely being leached of life. It seems to be necromantic in origin.
Oh.
Am I able to sort of trace how old it is? Anything like any pertinent details about the
You are
magic?
able to determine, like, how best to describe it? Like, you're kind of able to determine kind of the amount of like life, so to say, is being drawn from it. It doesn't straight up tell you exactly like how long it's been going on, but you can kind of on your own puzzle together, like based on the amount that is being siphoned away, that this clearly, like this pig in particular, has been affected for like almost a month at this point.
Okay. This creature, this poor thing, under the effects of the school of necromancy. More specifics, I cannot tell you. But
It's kind of
now we know
looks
what we're
down at-
looking for.
So, what? There's a necromancer around?
The pig's
Kinda-
very essence is being drained. The question is by whom and for what purpose?
He kind of looks around. Well, who I think is obvious. And why?
Let us not jump to conclusions.
Really? What should I do? Should I just sit here and watch my pigs die? Should I just remain here while the lost daughter who could stand my fucking presence just walks off to some fucking wizard?
You will care for your animals. I will identify the source of this magic, and I will do my best to nurse your town back to health. However, if you let your emotions get in the way of my investigation, I will place you under house arrest. Am I clear?
Roll intimidation. I will say with advantage.
Okay. That is a 19.
It takes a step back. For a moment, like, despite taking a step back, like, he looks fucking pissed. But after a while, he kind of, managed to calm himself down. Clear. And he just kind of walks off.
At which point, I will make my way back to the carriage.
Yep. While that has happened, Akron and Theodore, as you have made your way back, like on your way back towards the carriage, you ran into Igroff. Was like, well, it was himself was on his way in roughly the same direction he saw all of you traveling. Like before he went off with the goat. You notice that he no longer has the goat with him.
Yeah, not going to ask any questions about it. I'm just going to look over at him. And so I think I have a lead.
Did you tell?
I think the wizard's young apprentice is trying to study ahead out of class and not paying attention to the effects she's having on the world around her.
I think it's best that I go back and talk to them then, because, well, no offense, Theodore, but you're prickly at the best of times and they're pretty pissed with you.
Because, yeah, and talked with her father and the townspeople, and the consensus seems to be that the problems didn't start until well and truly about a month after the wizard arrived, which is apparently around the same time that he finally begrudgingly accepted her as his apprentice.
I see.
And apparently he did that by throwing a book at her. If the book was the basics on incantations and spell work,
Ah. I see. I will go check that out. Where's Lucius?
He had some
behind.
stuff to take care of with the father.
I was
Alright.
about to say that. Actually, no, actually, no. I was trying to remember. Wait, were you guys there when he mentioned the book? My brain was just doing a little weird.
He literally
And-
mentioned it to me when I was asking.
Yeah, I know. I asked. For a second, my brain went, "Wait, didn't he say that? Like when it was only him and Lucius?" And then my brain was searching through. But yeah, no, you're right. My brain did it dumb.
Is it really wise to go alone?
I've been inside his house alone previously. I think I can manage.
If you say so.
I am going to check on Lucius first, though. If you all want to head back to the carriage.
Yeah, I will say. Oh, okay, so I was assuming that all of you were kind of moving towards the carriage already as you were talking.
Oh, was that the assumption we stopped?
No, I was still moving and talking as we moved.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was about to say that it's about this time that all of you kind of, come back to the carriage. To the absolute shit show that is Misty's blood-red clothes and Octavian looking equally, curious and mortified by the level of detail Misty goes into in some of her explanations.
On second thought, Octavian, would you like to come with me, please?
Sure.
Do I have to stay here?
You don't have to, but I would recommend you stay away from the wizard.
Octavian takes a few steps away from Misty as she's Actually, Dragon,
Yeah.
how detailed would Misty have gotten in some of her explanations?
God.
Well, she will describe this one time where she actually got to put her hands on a dead vampire, where in the cloister they were desiccating you, so layer by layer, just opening up the chest cavity and showing all the wrinkled and mangled and dried out intestines and she's very meticulous in her descriptions.
I think I just threw up a little bit in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there you go. Yeah, no, Octavian is very happy to not have to stay there and listen to it.
I'm just gonna have Theodore be like, yeah, no. He's just gonna walk away somewhere else.
Yeah. So, what is everyone doing? Who's doing what?
Try and change the subject. Upon hearing exactly what Misty's talking about, I'm just, Misty, what have you done to your clothes?
Well, I was really excited to put them on yesterday, and I was painting in my room, and the paint got on the clothes, and I tried to clean it, but it didn't work according to plan, and they just But they're pretty. They're really pretty. I really dig the red.
Is Misty not mad at Acheron for sleeping somewhere else?
We'd already
You
sorted
already had that
out.
conversation with him.
Sorry.
And hey, if I get some more blood on me, you're not gonna be able to see it, right? That's a great thing, right?
I will say dragon blood is its own very unique shade of red.
Oh, okay. Misty doesn't know that.
Not to mention, when you do fun things like cast prestidigitation on it, it can have random effects.
Yeah.
Not that we endorse dyeing
I tried.
clothing with dragon blood.
I tried to get it out, and then it
Results
worked,
may
and
vary.
then I gave up. I just gave up. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Theodore, you said you were walking off on your own.
Yep. Just walking around.
Okay. Like, are you just walking around, or are you looking for anything in particular?
I think he's gonna walk through the village, or walk around a little more to see if there's anybody in particular, or anybody just who might have answers or who might know what's going on.
Okay.
Or I guess anything strange as well.
Yeah. Alright, we'll get back to you soon. Let's see. Lucius is on his way towards the car. Igroff.
I'm on my way towards Lucius.
Okay. So yeah, I would say the two of you would like kind of bump into each other, like on the way.
What did you
Yeah,
find
You
out?
get. Well, I spoke with the kind gentleman, shall we say, and I've studied his livestock. We are most certainly dealing with necromancy,
Yes, I know.
specifically a life draining,
I
a
am
mass life draining,
I am aware of that
which
as well.
which makes me think that this is slightly more advanced than a simple mishap. Do something on this scale to affect the entire town, their livestock. It is either passed through the food the livestock has eaten, which is an incredibly powerful magic in itself, or it is a mass cast spell.
Now, Seb, I
Yeah.
insight checked the wizard
You did.
at the end of the last episode, and he seemed genuinely surprised when I told him what was going on.
Yeah, he seemed a little taken aback, like more so by the fact of you actually asking than the subject itself. But he did not see the surprise and like taken aback wasn't like what's this guy? It was I guess I would say more innocent than it could have been. Like, he didn't see him outwardly like, how did he know or anything like that. It was more of
Yeah.
a, that's an odd question.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, I spoke to the wizard, and he, to my best ability, he didn't seem to know anything about what was going on. But there is a chance that the apprentice might. I want to have. I'm heading there now. I'm heading to have a conversation with the wizard about the young apprentice.
I am happy to remain close by and see if I can detect any traces of the magic.
You're welcome to. Me and Octavian can go in. I can show him how not to be a dick to people. Plus, he looks like he's about to pass out. I think Misty was telling him horror stories or something.
That
She-
does sound like something she would do.
Oh, absolutely.
She's very knowledgeable about vampires.
Questionable.
That is exceptionally questionable. I could.
Questionable that she has knowledge on vampires,
Mm.
as we have had
But-
many accusations, none of them holding any footing.
But she talked so much about it.
She
Yeah,
talks about a lot of things.
I wouldn't dwell too seriously on anything that Misty tells you, especially regarding vampires.
Okay. So if I ever encounter a vampire, I shouldn't drink a bunch of poison.
No, that would be
Is that what she
ill-advised.
told you?
She said if you have poison in the blood and the vampire drinks it, it dies.
Yes, but you would most likely, for it to be enough poison to kill a vampire, you would also die in the process.
Work.
And
Oh.
don't they?
It's almost like her voice is on the wind.
I mean, if anyone's voice would be on the wind.
My personal recommendation for vampires, given my limited knowledge, is anything of radiance, anything of holy power tends to be a little more effective than poisoning oneself. I would say trying to beat one with a rock is more effective than poisoning oneself.
Yeah.
I will keep that in mind. She also went on a long tangent about wooden sticks.
Stakes can be helpful, but you would have to get close enough, which a vampire would not allow you to do.
I'd personally recommend some sort of enchanted crossbow. Or just straight up magic.
Or a river.
The river. I mean, I guess she did say that vampires hate to bathe, so.
Well,
Anyway, we are getting
Shall
sidetracked
we?
and we have a problem to
Yes.
deal with of the necrotic
yes.
kind.
Yes, yeah.
One necrotic
which
problem at a
it's-
time.
It's not been ruled out that it's a vampire yet, so, you know,
Quite
I don't want this guy thinking that, oh shit, it's a vampire. Where's the nearest poison vial?
admittedly, yes, quite ironically, a vampire is potentially what we're dealing with, and these are not good things to be. Jesus Christ.
Oh, like Misty straight up going out here like, yeah, just kill yourself, that'll work.
I mean, hey,
Yes,
for that.
okay.
So
I mean, hey, you won't have
fucking
to deal with the vampire
stupid.
anymore.
Oh my god. Like, at best, you would then be risen as a vampire spawn.
He doesn't know that. Does she now?
You're
Actually,
a
I
vampire hunter and you don't know about. Oh my.
Mm.
To the windmill!
To the windmill!
Oh.
Comic book transition! I'm not editing that in. Fuck that work.
Really? I'll pay you $50.
It's not worth it.
He
It's
normally
really
jumps
not
at
worth
he
it.
normally jumps at $50. I'm impressed.
No, the thing is, Malachi, I know how much work that is. It's not worth it.
Okay.
Oh.
So 75 then?
Yeah,
I'll just play that audio track
Yeah, okay. I
and
can
like just do like the Windows Movie Maker transition.
I mean, hey, if you do it well enough, that's all you need to do.
That's all you
oh
need.
my god, I'm a voice actor now.
Oh my god.
Oh, I hate it so much. Oh, someone write that down so I don't forget.
I got you, buddy.
Ah,
This is the perks of hiring your best friend.
screw you, editing Zephyr.
Suck shit, bitch.
Will this be a TikTok moment?
Probably.
Hi, TikTok.
That's not going on.
Anyways.
Like,
Anyway. Uh, so, as the three of you make your way to the windmill,
mhm.
and Lucius, as you approach the windmill, you're able to get a proper glimpse at the arcane runes scribbled on the. Still forgot what they're called. The individual like blades, yeah, like blades on the windmill. Which the windmill is pointing in once again the entirely wrong direction based on where the wind is blowing.
Yep, no, that makes sense for the people in this town.
No
Half of
doubt
them
they're
don't know
blaming
right
him on
from
that as
left.
well.
The windmill was turned the right way around, but when he moved in, he rotated it.
Basically.
Oh, it's fucking these guys are idiots. Um,
Yep.
I was really hoping that there was no enchantment on the pigs whatsoever, and like that he just fed them rotten food, and that's what the whole thing, the whole mystery is. Just they're just idiots. But
An early draft.
um,
But anyways.
I was gonna say, there's no mystery there.
yeah, I'm gonna sort of station myself like round the back of the building, and another sort of ritual cast of identify to try and on the building itself to see if there is any magical residue.
I will say right now, give me a. Let's make this an intelligence save.
Oh, that's scary. That's a nat 20.
All
So
right,
27
okay.
total.
Yeah, the vast amount of information about all kinds of magical bullshit hits you like a fucking truck.
Oh, it's like being
it
back in
is.
school.
Yeah, it is. Like the thing is, sure, like the building itself. Like here's the thing you need to understand right now. This windmill has been like those magical rules on it. It's been enchanted to read like all of the ambient magical energies, which means in a way it imbues itself with all of the ambient magical energies. You're currently reading all of the ambient magical energies.
And I'm doing it perfectly, motherfucker.
Oh yeah, no, it is like it takes you aback for like a split second of just getting hit in the fucking brain with all of it. But you're used to having a lot of information hit your brain, so you don't remember most of those times, but
you're treading on some mighty thin ice.
yeah, you do you do read it, and yeah, no, like there's as I said, it's a bunch of a lot of it is just wild, untapped magical energies, just normal, natural magical energy around, and some of
Yeah.
it is more defined. A lot of it seems to be like divination based, which you guess is the basis of the enchantment placed upon the windmill itself.
Yeah. I get like what I'm kind of looking for is that specific signature of that specific necromancy spell. That
Yeah.
sort of life draining, like
You do
almost
not find
vampiric
it.
touch. Okay.
You find it's actually interesting. You find no trace of it.
Okay. Like okay, so there's none in the building. It's either in the barn shed thing to the side, or it's not coming from here. Okay, I'm gonna wait outside whilst I do that and kind of see, what Igroth comes back to me with.
Mid. So Igrof.
I'm going to go up to the door. I'm going to say to Octavian, just let me do the talking here. All right?
Okay.
I'm going to knock on the door.
the little crystal hanging by a string lights up. What is it now? How many of you are going to visit me on this awful day?
Just myself again, and a
Oh,
friend.
there's a little bit of a pause, and the door unlocks. And it kind of, opens it up. You see a little bit of steam kind of, rises up out of the door as he opens it. And the air in there seems to be a bit more humid than it was before. He kind of, looks at you. Well, you come back at a good time. I just finished cleaning out all the eyes.
Ah, yes.
And who's this? And he kind of nods towards Octavian.
This is Octavian. He's a friend. I'm actually you could consider him my apprentice.
Ah,
Now,
well, then you know what pain in the ass they can be.
oh, that's terrible.
I hope he's
While-
better at learning.
While we're having this conversation, I'm going to be looking at the crystal every now and then. I want to see if it lights up.
Yeah, it is still glowing.
And how are you today, Julia?
See, the wizard just kind of glances at it. It's quiet for a bit, and then you just kind of hear from the crystal. Good. How are you?
I'm well. I was actually wondering if I could have a chat with you.
Did my father send you?
No.
It's kind of quiet for a bit. The wizard just kind of shrugs and is like, "If you want to talk to her, come in." You see the crystal kind of fizzles out. It just kind of leads you inside, and I ask you to walk inside. So, do you want anything to drink? I've got some tea. I have some ale.
Nothing for me, thanks.
You see, Kevin kind of looks around. You don't happen to have any wine? How fancy do you take me for, boy? I was like, good point. And kind of, lead you into the windmill, lead you up the stairs to like the second floor of the windmill, where it's more laid out, like where the bottom areas of the windmill are more like kind of workstations. The second floor is more of like a living room situation. And you see the same roughly 16-year-old blonde girl from before, just sitting on like this big, I wouldn't say fancy, but it looks fairly comfortable couch, and she has this like kind of big grimoire, like really big book just in her lap. It's almost comical how big it is compared to her. And you see on like the coffee table in front of them, there is this. Like the best way I would describe it is it looks kind of like a mic stand, but instead of a microphone, there's a crystal that looks almost identical to the one hanging downstairs, like out the door.
Yep. Now,
Um,
I'm gonna be frank. I'm here about the necrotic energies that are popping up all over the town.
the wizard kind of looks at it. You mentioned them before. Have you learned anything interesting about them? I haven't had the time to look into it myself yet.
I want it known. I mean, no offense at all. I am simply exploring every avenue. I mean no disrespect whatsoever. However, it has come to our attention that certain effects started happening shortly after you took Julia on as an apprentice.
He kind of glances towards Julia, who is nose deep in the big ass grimoire.
Now, when you say nose
can-
deep, like hiding in the book, or
She has
just focused?
Tilted the book, like before it was laying in her lap, she has lifted it up and is reading it.
Julia, would you happen to know anything about what's going on?
How would I? I know nothing about magic. He refuses to teach me. Kind of, sighs. Once again, I will teach you once you learn how to study. I am You're reading. How much of that are you actually learning? There's a big difference between simply reading a few fancy words and understanding what they're trying to tell you. We've been over this for over a month now. She just kind of, hops. Actually, I guess hops is better.
Out of curiosity, what is that book?
Kind of, lifts it up a bit, and it's some book about magical theory. See, which is kind of scoffing, like, some book about magical theory. Do you even know? It's Arcaius Grimoire. It's very old magical scholar. He personally, it's one of my favorite reads. If you want to need a light read before bedtime. It's a fairly comprehensive collection of the. You know what? It's just a book about the basics of magic.
Right.
I thought, if anything, giving her a book about the basics is probably a good place to start. But anytime I ask her about it, she doesn't seem to actually comprehend any of it. Julius is kind of pouting.
If I
So what do you
may,
do?
and I'll sort of reach out to grab the book.
Naturally, she just lets you take it. The wizard doesn't stop you either.
What am I currently? What is the last thing she was reading?
The page it is currently at is currently about like a detailed. Well, it is at the same time it is very detailed, yet it just at the same time very surface level. Just kind of account of the various schools of magic. I guess, like I said, surface level yet fairly detailed, just breakdowns of the various schools of magic. So you
Julia,
don't know exactly where on this section of the book she was at, but
Julia, out of curiosity, what can you tell me about the School of Enchanting?
it's the magic that does stuff with it's the one where you do stuff to people.
I hate everything.
Just-
I hate everything
Argu-
about that sentence.
Arguably all magic.
Arguably
is
all
that?
magic. Could I insight to see if she's feigning stupidity?
Roll inside.
That is a nat 20.
I'm awake.
Okay, all right.
I'm just waiting for my
She
turn.
how best to describe it? It is clear that she's not being serious, though at the same time, she is genuinely is how best to describe it? Like, she's kind of deflecting by way of giving a silly answer. but it doesn't feel completely just false. So she probably knows more than she's saying, but not by a lot.
I think we've missed something.
However, I will say one thing. What does natural 20 you would have?
Hmm.
I was going to say, she is nervous. She's trying to hide it, and she's somewhat good at it, but she's nervous about something.
I'm gonna inquire about that. Julia. Actually, what was the wizard's name? Did I forget his name?
Oh yeah, no, he did tell you that first night when you encountered him.
Mm.
It's Bershev.
Bershev.
Or Bershev. I
Bershev.
still have trouble pronouncing it. I have it in my head. My mouth just sometimes doesn't want to cooperate.
May I have a moment with Julia alone? Please.
Kind of, looks between you and Julia. He then, looks over towards Octavian, who's just kind of, standing, like, slightly behind you, like, slightly off to the side, looking somewhat uncomfortable, like, he doesn't fit in at all. He has no idea what anyone is talking about.
That goes for you too, Octavian.
He kind of nods, and the wizard just looks like, Alan, come, boy. And he just, walks away, like, down the stairs. Octavian, follows. He kind of casts you a bit of a worried glance, but, follows the wizard.
Just give him
You
a
and Julia.
polite nod.
Yes.
It's just us up here. There's...
Actually, before you continue, I just want to ask, Lucius, like, by this point you would have been well done with your, reading of
Yes.
the windmill. What are you doing?
I am going to hang around the front door. I'm not going to come inside, as
Okay.
this is not my abode, and I don't want to be rude.
He's a vampire, so he can't officially walk inside without
You'd say that. But I basically want to be within earshot of, if shit starts going down, I want to be able to bust this door down like an FBI agent.
Okay.
I will say, if shit goes down, you will definitely hear it.
I'm sure, but the issue
You
with
will-
Lucius is like, for all he knows, this is like a windmill with a wizard's lab 50 feet underground.
Yeah. Alright. Eggroff.
Julia, it's just us up here. Whatever you say to me, I promise to try and hold in complete confidence with you, but what are you hiding?
Who says I'm hiding anything?
You say you're hiding something. The look on your face says everything.
Well, so are you. I mean, everyone hides things.
Yes, absolutely. But you're nervous about something. You are actively worried about something. Just tell me what it is.
I've always wanted to be a wizard. Magic. I want to dance with fairies. What? But I don't learn. I'm worried he will realize I'm useless and throw me out. I'll be stuck tending to pigs all my life. I will say. Actually, a question: are you actively trying to
I'm
like
still
keep an eye
trying.
on your reader?
I'm still trying to read her. I
Okay,
want to
roll another
understand it.
insight.
Roll another.
Yep.
Yep. That's still good. That is plus 22.
Okay. Yeah, she's trying to deflect, like she's trying to sidestep actually answering. Like she's telling the truth, it's just not the entire truth.
Mm.
Like there's subtle signs in her posture and just, body language.
Go on.
I mean, go on. You've seen, I can't answer simple question.
There's still something more.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've told you everything.
You've been honest. I can tell that.
So why do you keep questioning me?
Because you haven't been completely honest.
And just like kind of is, just sitting there, arms crossed, looking. What's the word I'm looking for? Very insulted.
End of the day,
This is
I'm just trying to find out exactly what's happening here. And to stop it. That's all I want.
well. Then I hope you succeed. And she just kind of looks away. And just, stays like that, arms crossed, looking insulted, just like not looking at you, her head to the side. Occasionally, her eyes glance in your direction to see if you're like still there, or if you're going to move.
Why do you think you're struggling so much?
Okay, it's kind of lets go of like this big breath she's been holding. It's like, I don't know. It's just all the words just clump together in my head. Like, how am I supposed to? Like, who hears evocation and thinks, oh, that's the thing that does all the things? I thought, before I started reading about it, whenever I heard enchantment, I thought it was making things more special, but apparently no, it does things to people. I still have no idea what constitutes transmutation. You won't even let me touch anything conjuration based.
That's probably for the best.
How am I supposed to learn if I can't even do anything?
Let's see. Evocation, enchantment, divination. I'm trying so hard not to burst into song.
Really?
Just pull out.
I know exactly what
you
you're
know,
what
it
you're
is
talking
playing.
about.
It is playing in my head on
Oh,
repeat, and
dude,
I'm trying
I'm like,
so
right.
hard not to.
Okay, now I'm actually curious. I don't know what you're talking
hang
about.
on, I'll find it. I've got a copy of it here somewhere.
I see.
Yeah, fuck
I'll
yeah.
have to
this
wait until after
is-
session though. But yeah.
Yeah, I ain't singing that on stream.
No,
'Cause fuck that.
no.
Fuck that. Fuck that noise.
It's fucking stuck in my head. It's right stuck in there.
Well then. Other than that, what do you do?
Unfortunately, perhaps I'm not the best person to help you in this scenario. I'll see if Lucius might be willing to sort of give you a few understandings.
The moment you mention Lucius, you see her attention turn towards her. Before she was a little bit dismissive, more like turned inwards. You say Lucius, and like her eyes fix on you. She's like, Lucius is here?
Yes, he's right outside.
She has a crush on him.
Have fun, fucker.
So happy
Isn't
Misty's
she
not
like,
there.
isn't she like 17?
16,
16-ish.
Lucius is 26.
Yeah, but Misty would still
Remember,
be
she's
jealous.
always wanted to be a wizard.
Didn't she
Lucius
just
has been
whisper something about maybe wanting to have an apprentice?
I wouldn't
or
mind an
something?
apprentice, but then you're coming out with, oh yeah, she's got a crush. That's nice.
I mean, listen, even if she does, she's like a kid. Every kid has a crush on someone.
Oh my
I
god.
know, but I don't think Lucius is right. No. I don't think you understand. Lucius ain't ready to deal with that. He's kind of got devil in his head, and then people be like,
Doesn't matter. You can't change someone's feelings just because you're not okay with them.
you don't get to decide what does and doesn't matter to my character.
Just be glad that Misty's not there to be jealous.
For fuck's sake.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway.
No, so I'll look at her and go, look.
Malachi, get me out of this, please.
Oh
Anyway.
no, fuck you, I put you here. You were
You
exactly
fucker!
where I wanted you. Enjoy this, bitch.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So yes, he is here. I'll
like she's like you. As I said, you have her attention.
I can promise that you can talk to him. I can't promise anything else outside of that. We have, however, I believe, made an error somewhere, and we need to find where that error is.
And I blinks a couple times, looks like a little like not confused, but a little bit like uncertain.
I'm gonna be really blunt. Have you accidentally casted some necromancy magic? I'm just gonna like flat out just throw that at her and see like how she reacts to it.
She, yeah, no, like this is fair enough. She kind of like half a second like hesitation, and then she's like, no. What? If there's if he's taught me anything, it's that you should never do necromancy. It's for fools, and I forgot the other word he used. It was, I don't know. It's something. Fools. Fools. Necromancers are fools. Yes.
Sorry,
Kind of nods like. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I understand that is his opinion, but you know of clerics, right?
Yes.
You know
A
how
few of them pass through here occasionally.
You know how they have the ability to resurrect their allies in the midst of battle?
I've heard of it, yes.
You know that's necromancy, right?
I thought necromancy was doing weird things to corpses and
You
ghosts.
you can raise the dead as thralls, but clerics actually have the ability to raise the dead as they formerly were. There is good and bad in all magics. It is all about how you choose to use it. I mean, I'm a blood hunter. I'm not exactly smiled upon.
She kind of, she's just looking at you like an almost blank expression, like she has no idea what a blood hunter is.
Basic. Do I have any left? I don't. I used them all this morning. Basically, I can control blood. I can command it to assist me in battle or give me certain perks. People get a bit freaked out about that.
Yeah, she's kind of looking at you like she's trying to figure out whether you're pulling her leg or not.
I have a deadpan serious face on, like.
Okay.
It's not exactly
So-
smiled upon, but it is just the
Yeah,
path of magic I've gone down.
blood. Using blood sounds weird.
It's certainly
will
an
say,
interesting experience.
Based on the earlier insight for Kimera, when she talked about using blood, she hesitated a little bit. I did not manage to catch that properly, but she was supposed to hesitate a bit. Specifically at just the word blood, she kind of hesitated.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I should be off. But thank you for your time. And I'll head downstairs.
Nods. And you'll bring Lucius, right?
You'll see Lucius before we go.
She looks around for like the grimoire and she takes it and like she starts reading again with renewed what's the word I'm looking for? Vigor? I don't know. Renewed energy.
Bigger.
Yeah, vigor. That's it. So you walk downstairs. You see Berchef and Octavian are downstairs, and Octavian is looking around a little concerned as the dear wizard is currently going on a bit of a rant about idiots and how people there who they know next to nothing about magic and they just they know, and of course all they've heard about magic are negative things, and so of course they judge everything magical under the same fucking brush. Octavian knows as you walk down the stairs and he just gives you this look like, help me, get me out of here.
And that is the exact reason why, the exact demonstration of people fearing that which they don't understand. Thank you for your time. I'm sorry to have intruded again. I do appreciate your being so hospitable.
Well, it's refreshing to actually talk to someone who understands the value of magic and doesn't just throw it all under the fire.
It's unfortunate that people can be so simple-minded about things, but for now, we do have some necromancy to track down.
Well, I will start conducting my own investigation. If I find anything, I will let you know.
We'll be here until we we've solved whatever this is.
And nods. And he kind of looks around like he kind of forgot what he was doing, and nods to himself and starts going up the stairs. So as you exit, you see Lucius standing nearby the door, having heard, like kind of muffled through the door, heard the conversation, the little rant that Bergevas had with Octavian, which could best be described as said, all the wizard complaining about idiots.
Have we found our culprit?
No. No, and I should have figured it wasn't here, but... So,
You were exhausting all possibilities. There is no shame in that.
yes. Although your fangirl upstairs is dying to meet you, you're probably going to have to pay them a visit at some point before we go. Enthusiastic, but not very sharp on the studying.
Let me guess. She's been given a book and told to use that to learn.
Pretty much. Doesn't work.
Well, I've always found practical magic to be a much grander lesson. I'm sure I can pass something on, if nothing more than a few cantrips to get her started.
Now, when I was inspecting the soil of the farm earlier, I noticed that like the soil itself is deficient in energy, like it's being drained. It's not happening over here. So
Which would match the effects that I detected on the livestock.
I think we, at the very least, myself and the druid, should be able to map out a rough area of effect. And I'm hoping that whatever is causing this will be within that area.
We can get that sorted, and once we know the area we have to search, then we can work our way through slowly.
Unfortunately, I fear we may be here another day. What's the time, by the way?
At this point, it would be about noon. Like you all started. Actually, it would be a bit after noon.
Bit after, yeah. We've done a lot.
I'm sure the others wouldn't mind exercising their heroic deeds a little while longer.
Theo might. Theo
Yes, I
was keen to get
understand.
out of here, but I think since we've started something, we may as well finish it. The wizard has offered to start their own investigation. Hopefully they will bear some fruit.
Yes, I think once we have our map, we provide it to him, see if he can garner any clues from it, and when we do that, I'll take the opportunity to speak with Julia.
That sounds like a plan.
Now, we should get back to the others before Misty starts vampire hunting through the town,
Yes.
because the moment she realizes that necromancy is at play, she is going to have a field day.
Yes. Oh, and before we go,
Yes.
I've reached out to a contact of mine in hell.
Right.
They are willing to offer assistance when the time is right.
Then I will hope that that assistance will be enough.
I just need to figure out what my end of the deal is going to be.
I know that you see it as your duty, but do not jeopardize your well-being for a simple traveler.
Me and this particular devil have a bit of an understanding. I feel there's a mutual respect. We've dealt with some nasty demons in the past. An archdevil isn't that much of a step up. Kind of.
It's all relative, really.
It's all relative. It's like, giants, vampires, archdevils. Yeah, they're all the same. They all die eventually.
On that, I will simply take your word. Now, we should be off.
We should.
And
Yeah.
I will make
So-
my way back to the tavern.
Yeah. And so, as this whole bit has been happening, the Akron and Misty, what have the two of you been up to?
Well,
Yeah,
Misty has been robbed of the only person that was willing to talk to her, who was just fiddling with her loot.
Yeah, I just realized that Ma has.
That's because if,
It's fine.
anytime I have a discussion with Misty about vampires and try and sort the fact from fiction, she's like, no, this is obviously the way it's been because this is obviously how it's come from my studies.
I have very extensive studies. The cloister of vampire hunters,
Yes, and you've thought I was a vampire no less than 3 times.
Could you repeat that?
I said, and yes, you've thought I was a vampire no less than 3 times. One of those times you tried to stake me.
My point is being that somewhere down your hereditary tree or whatever, there might have been a vampire a long time ago. You can't cross out the possibility. Just because your genetics aren't showing as much predisposition to be an actual vampire right now, doesn't mean it wasn't down long, like your ancestors or whatever. It could still be a possibility that your very, very, great grandpa, so have been a vampire. You can never cross out the possibility. Have you ever met them? Oh, so you don't know. You wouldn't know.
Amazing.
And yes, just the sheer look of exasperation on Akron's face is one he is very accustomed to when talking with Misty on this set.
You see, Daedalus is sitting beside the cart. Currently, I forgot what it's called. Wood carving, whittling. What was it called? Anyway, knife, wood, making something. Anyways,
Pretending for all the world like he's not listening to the conversation and laughing internally.
yeah. Oh no, he has the biggest smirk on his face. He's loving listening to this. And as you were doing that, Theodore,
Yes.
as you've been walking around town, trying to, ask around, what particular things, what particular information have you been trying to find?
I think Theodore would be mostly just asking about any other peculiar stuff that might have happened during the time the wizard was here.
Okay. Roll investigation.
Also, maybe information on the mother, whoever she is. Investigation.
Yep.
Oh, it's a 12. Never mind.
Yeah, you get most like the same old things you've heard before. Like the most of the new you hear of on that end is like a few like people, like a few people's farms that are mentioned that seem to have been the more severely hit. All of them seems to be roughly towards the same direction out of town.
I think in that
But more than
case,
yeah, but more than I don't get anything. Anytime you ask about like the mother, you don't really get any straight answers. Most people seem to try to avoid the subject.
I guess in that case, he's just gonna give up and go to the tavern and order some, probably a meal.
Yeah, I mean it's past noon. Yeah, I would say that Theodore gets back about the same time as Agroff and Lucius and Octavian. And you come back to the exasperated discussion of vampires.
And I'm telling you, once and for all, vampires don't reproduce the way every other race does.
Or they reproduce.
Yes, by turning other people, not by having children.
Oh yeah, but they still have sex, don't they? You know? It's not like they just stop doing that. I'm like,
I'm not saying they don't, but that wasn't the question at hand. The question at hand was vampire offspring, and vampires do not have offspring via sex.
have you never seen a vampire baby before?
No, because they don't
Have you
exist.
seen those teeth? I've seen so many babies with so many fangs. They're totally vampire babies.
Peter's gonna look at Misty and be like, "Hey, Misty, do you think bats are baby vampires, but not fully formed?"
Of course not. Only adult vampires can turn into bats. Everyone knows that.
You know who'd be really interested in this discussion?
And then
Maybe
another
you should
Theo
talk
was there,
to-
but okay.
Oh yeah, I arrived. That's what Sep said.
Yeah, I said that Theo arrived about the time as Lucius and Agroff.
Okay.
You know what?
Yes, Lucius, Egroth, and Theo have arrived at the point in which we're discussing how
Misty,
vampires grow their numbers.
we found
Yep.
we found a goat today that was secretly a vampire. Maybe you should go see if any of them else are.
Wait. You found what now?
Yeah, you could ask Akron. He might
So
say it's a
you're
demon,
telling
but it's
me-
clearly a vampire.
So you're telling me
Akron's going
you
to
have been
give
fighting
Theo a
vampires
look
and you
that
haven't
it
told me?
basically says the
vampire
second
hunter?
you're alone.
Misty, she stands up and she is heading off towards where she thinks the farm would be. And she's gonna fuck off. Gonna manic search for vampires.
Okay, Misty, roll investigation with disadvantage.
Disadvantage? That's gonna be okay. Let's see. I can barely see my numbers. Let's see. Where did you go? There you go.
So what did I miss?
You missed the sex talk about vampires.
No,
You
I
said
didn't,
investigation,
unfortunately.
Theodore tricked Misty into leaving the.
And Theo has managed to convince Misty that the demonic goat that was
Oh,
killed was in
no.
fact a vampire goat, and now she's on the hunt for vampire goats.
Oh my god, she's gonna start
Speaking of
murdering
which-
shit.
What did you roll?
13 total. What's the
13
lowest?
total. All right.
Yeah.
These vampire ghosts must be real slippery. You're not finding any of them.
Oh my fucking god. Maybe it's because in the middle of the day. Oh. But no, some of the vampires have vampire breeds. They can still walk out in the sun. So technically,
no.
she will be still very furiously. She's so offended that there's been talks about vampires and shit, and she hasn't been invited to it, so she is kind of grumpily like looking around and doing her investigations for the vampires.
Misty's out of
Cows,
earshot.
pigs.
Acheron's going to just look to Theo and say, Armor has a way of getting you at just the right moment. I would be careful how far you play tricks.
I just needed a break from this vampire stuff, that's all.
Out of curiosity, where are Lucius and Igra?
Oh yeah, no, like you arrived about the same time as Theo, so you all like from a little bit of a distance, like just saw and heard all of this.
Speaking of bad news, and karma, we're probably going to be looking at staying one more day, depending on how long this drags out.
I mean, Misty's just... Theo's just ensured Misty's going to want to stay the next week looking for vampire goats, but, you know...
Yes, well,
We
Excuse
could just
me,
tell her
what?
there's-
it's okay. Theo can stay here with his sister, and the three of us will go on ahead.
I don't have a sister.
No, you do now, because you're both fucking children.
He's just gonna roll his eyes. I just needed a break from all the vampire talk. And
So
also,
you
I'm
brought up vampires again.
yes.
Actually, speaking of vampires, there is a very rare chance that we are dealing with a vampire.
Oh,
Hmm.
Like,
Looks
she's not
around
here
to see if
here to hear that.
Misty suddenly just appears out of nowhere.
No, Misty's
It's like a mating call. It's just vampires.
can I ask you,
It's,
Akron, why this
thankfully too
obsession
far
with
away.
vampires suddenly started?
So I don't know where or at what point Misty in her past got it into her head, but at some point she thought she was studying with a vampire hunting group. Only every piece of information she's ever had about vampires is so drastically inaccurate from any real hard verifiable information I've managed to find that I'm not sure where she was. For all I know, she could have been in a vampire stronghold and they're feeding her this information and then laughing the minute she's out of earshot. But all I know is that it boggles the mind, some of the things that Misty has come up with in her search for vampires.
I'm pretty sure she's accused every single one of us of being a vampire at one point or another. Even you, Octavian.
3
Not me.
times, and she nearly staked me once.
She hasn't
Uh,
accused me. He shrugs.
Should I be
Pretty sure
worried?
she has behind your back.
Maybe.
Should I be worried?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, traveling in this party, it's always good to have a background sense of worry. We've each got our own quirks.
Good to know.
But
I won't
conversely,
get
you will
snake,
never
will
travel
I?
with a safer group when it comes to coming against shit, because we seem to handle whatever we come across with a good
noticed.
deal manner of haste.
Yeah, I've noticed. Speaking of, what's the plan?
Well, where do you think we should head next, Egroth? You seem to have the most information on this.
Well, actually, I was going to get, Legsy, where are you?
And see this fox jump off the cart.
Ah,
As
there
he kind of lands in front of you. Kind of
We-
shudders a bit and turns back into his human form.
We have an annoying task.
All right. How annoying would you say?
Very. I don't want to do this, but I have to. We need to try and map out the drained land.
That could be annoying.
That could be very annoying, depending on how
I
fucking far this
suggest-
thing stretches.
I suggest we find an edge and then we just follow it, I guess.
Well, we know that it doesn't appear at the Wizard's Tower, but it does appear at the farm, so somewhere along there
I
is
did
an edge.
discover it. It does seem to only cover a bit of the settlement.
Yeah. I think there's probably the best place to start.
Well, funny that you're accusing the wizard. Most of the affected area seems to be on the opposite side of this whole place.
I want
I
to
mean,
have
to an extent, that would make sense. Why would you want to curse the land you're living on?
I suppose.
Well, that depends on whether the curse is in a set area or emanating from yourself, but it does appear to be draining, so what's more curious is where is that going to after it's drained? Because it has to go somewhere, right? And it's definitely not going into the ground, because otherwise the crops would not be suffering the way they are, which leads me to believe that whatever's siphoning is within the area.
Well, in that case, I suggest we start working.
Yes.
Kind of looks to everyone as no one else here is able to decipher life energy, eh?
I can identify the necromancy, and the sort of necrotic energy that emanates from the magical signatures, shall we say, but I cannot trace it. I cannot follow the trail, as it were.
Okay.
I'm just going to look to him, point at the sky, and go, my domain is the stars, not the
Soil.
So
Alright.
here it's
I
Well,
wanna
just the two of us.
have just Theodore look at Igroth and be like, "What happened with the apprentice?
Dead end.
Not her."
No. Not likely.
Well, I suppose we'd all better start searching. And I will summon Percival to my arm. Percy, I want you to fly around the area that Lexi here is searching, and if you find any caverns, any dens, anything that looks like it's being lived in, guide them to that area. Whatever is causing this, they must have some kind of hideout.
Percy gives off a silent hoot and flies off. Well, not really off. Mary just, launches off and is circling your group.
Come on, Lexi.
I have something.
Oh
Oh,
no!
Misty is going to look for signs that she knows for a fact there are tidings of vampires being around. So she's looking for a vampire lair.
alright. Roll investigation. This time just
Oh,
straight
no.
investigation.
You're straight?
Yeah, just straight investigation.
Ooh.
I hope you're rolling that 20 and find absolutely nothing.
Perception? Could it be
No,
perception? Or does it go-
investigation.
God damn it. I have like +0 to my investigation, bitch. 19 total.
Oh.
Alright. So yeah, you after coming to the conclusion that the vampire goats are clearly hiding for the day, you
Yeah, they absolutely are buried down underground.
you
So,
you start
they're
searching
hiding.
around, and Misty is going off on her own little hut. Like you, I will say that as you're you're moving on, you do eventually find, well, not really the cutoff point, but like an area where like you start seeing kind of like roughly ish the line, like a line where things like vegetation and stuff starts getting bad. And so you just kind of follow it because you're like, a trail, and you just start walking.
I'm
You
gonna
leave
cast
town
Major
after a
Roar
while.
on myself.
You leave town after a while, and you just keep walking, like following this rough line, like the edge of the area where everything is, like there seems to be, is it roughly the like outskirts of
You know what?
where things are being
She's
drained.
gonna start speaking into the wind and be like, I know there's vampires around here. You're not
Yeah.
gonna hide it from me.
Completely incidentally, she's moving in the opposite direction from where Lexi is going.
So she's going in the same direction that I'm going. Great.
Like Lexis, also, he remembers roughly where he found, like where he started feeling things getting ready. So he just goes back to that spot, kind of move. Oh, before he moves, he would have suggested trying to get a kind of at least like a sense of which like farmsteads around have been affected, to try and get a somewhat decent idea of the rough area before going in and getting specifics. Yeah, so as that is happening, so who is doing what?
I'm effectively sort of going around. So when I kind of get an idea of what side of the town the feeling is stronger, I'm sort of going from point to point, doing rituals of identify to see if I can try and create a bit of a sort of waypoint path, and see if I can detect any, like, whether it's stronger, whether it's weaker.
You, I would say, as you're doing this, you do like notice that it seems to be coming from like it's like the southern part of the area that seems to be affected.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I'll
Exactly how large that area is still a bit still up for debate. Seems to be a fair few farmsteads in the southern regions that have been affected. Some of them far more than others.
Mm-hmm.
As one might expect, the outlying ones seems to have been the worst hit.
And I'll sort of pass it on to Acheron, Theodore, and if I see a graph, that we're looking at the southern region.
Figure out what is Theodore and Acheron doing?
Well, so wait, what did we all agree upon? We're just gonna. Did we agree upon anything, or are we just still discussing?
Most of them have already gone off. Akron would have actually been sitting at the carriage to wait for Misty to come back, thinking that Misty would eventually come back.
No, Miss is currently on her way out of town, following a trail.
Good luck! Waiting.
Now on you, Misty.
So what is Theodore
He's
doing?
gonna probably get eaten by wolves or something. She looks for a vampire, a fucking werewolf eats her.
Oh God, I can't do
Man,
that.
and I'm just trying to imagine A Misty werewolf.
Oh my god.
I feel like
She will be the vampire enemy number 1.
No, I'm just imagining a werewolf that accidentally continuously calls levitate on itself and freaks out.
God.
hmm.
That'd be great.
So where has everyone gone? So Igroth and Lucius, where did they go?
So Igroth and Legsy have gone to scour the outside of the radius that's being affected. So Legsy's gone one way, Igroth has gone the other way, and they're just sort of like scouring that borderline.
Yeah.
And Lucius
Misty
is
also happens
passed on.
to. Yeah.
I was just saying, Lucius would have passed on to you and Acheron that whilst those two get a perimeter, we know like at least I can identify that the magic is coming from south of the village.
Hmm.
And incidentally, Misty is going the same way as Igroth, just she has a bit of a head start.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't know what Theodore did. I think he just kind of do a little more investigating, and then he'd he'd walk past the areas like the wizard tower, but he wouldn't really interact with it because he wouldn't really know what to do.
Okay.
He hasn't talked to what's her name, Julia, at all, but
No.
there isn't. She's in the tower, so there's not really anything they can do. I think I think he'll just keep investigating.
Yep. Okay. So
Okay.
I basic now I think about it, I like the ones checking the perimeter, so well, Agroff and Misty to roll investigation.
Advantage, disadvantage.
Yeah, straight investigation. Actually, Agroff's would be with advantage.
With advantage, yeah, because
You will do advantage?
Faith in undead.
Faith
Yeah,
ain't
right,
undead.
that's right. God damn it! Why am I a sorcerer?
All I'm gonna say is
16 total.
all I'm gonna say is thank fuck.
Perception?
Investigation.
Ugh. Got it.
All I'm gonna say is thank fuck this is with advantage because I just rolled a nat 1.
Oh wow.
Oh.
To
Be 16 total.
a nat 20.
Oh shit.
Oh my god. I've just seen you fucking jump back in your chair. Oh my fucking god.
Okay, okay. So
Let's get.
Igroff, it doesn't take you very long at all to notice a set of tracks in the soil going the same way you are. They're very faint. Clearly, whoever has left them is very light.
Interesting.
And after that, it doesn't take you very long at all to see a blood red figure off in the distance.
It's another devil. Quickly kill it.
Oh,
Good
perfect
thing
time
I'm
for
major.
target practice with this brand new crossbow that I've got. I can shoot it right in the back from here.
And it must be Faith in undead, so you get advantage.
Oh, clearly.
Well, technically.
Now, I was about to ask, would she count?
Yeah, she would.
As an Air Ganassi, she would count as Fae.
She would count as Fae.
Yeah.
Mm.
We've
Dude, no, we've had this conversation. We've had this conversation before. because me and Dragon
Misty
have
is
had,
actually from the Feywild. She's a Fey.
me and Dragon have had this
Mm.
conversation that I can literally never lose Misty.
What?
I can
That's
Mm.
true.
I can hunt Misty down with advantage easily.
Yeah. Okay.
We
Okay.
did
I
have
can
that
never
like,
lose
conversation.
Misty.
Yeah. No,
I am
so yeah, no,
so
you-
sorry, Agrath. I am
I can
so,
find her even when I
so
don't want
sorry.
to.
Turned around, kind of poked away my wand.
No, like you don't know that he's after you. You just.
Well, he didn't just say that out loud. With target practice is my brand new crossbow.
No,
Didn't
no,
he say that out loud?
no, that was me being a smartass because you were the one who gave me the crossbow.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you literally said that.
No,
Oh no.
Okay.
Even if he had said it, you are a fair bit ahead.
Okay.
Actually,
Oh my
how,
God,
how
every-
far ahead? How far ahead?
That's a good question. A fair bit.
all
don't know-
roads Agrath walks lead to Misty.
Like basically where you're walking, like you're currently like near the top of a hill, and you see a bit further like down the line, like going up another like hill, well, more like slight slope. You see the red
Would-
figure walking.
Would you say I'm within 320 feet? Just as
Depends. What are you thinking?
I want to fire a crossbow bolt between her legs to startle her. Not to hit her.
In that case, sure. I will say that she's
Okay.
just within that range.
Lovely. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Because mhm. Mhm.
What are you thinking?
I'm just getting all my information.
Okay.
I'm just getting all my dice ready.
I'm getting the dice ready for when I accidentally hit her.
What do you mean accidentally?
This time it's not Theodore throwing something at Misty.
Not really throwing if it's
More
shooting across.
launching.
Launching right
At a very
At a
Which means
rapid
I will-
speed.
Hold on, let me check thesaurus.com. If launching comes up as a synonym for throwing, then yes, it is throwing.
Very well.
Throwing. The first one is bunt.
Mm-hmm.
The fling, flip. Fire is there.
All right.
A synonym for throw is fire. Force, heave, hurl, lift, lob, pitch, push, put, send, shove, start, thrust. Yeah. Let fly is there.
Okay, so I'm throwing a crossbow bolt at her. Okay.
Nice.
Alright.
So this is a disadvantage.
Oh no. You're gonna shoot her in the leg by accident. My
Um,
leg!
No. The lowest
Not by
roll.
accident.
The lowest roll was an 18.
Oh,
Now, to be clear, I'm not aiming to hit. I'm aiming to shoot between her legs.
My AC is 19.
That's okay, because I'm not aiming to hit you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, no. Misty, you're walking.
Yeah.
Something flies right between your legs and lands like right in front of you. Like flew from between your legs and landed right in front of you.
The vampires are around. They know I'm at their tail. Oh, okay. In my left hand, I'm going to have my wand, obviously. In my right hand, I'm going to be preparing a lightning bolt.
Oh no.
I'm gonna
I
rack
That's
the
third level.
I'm gonna rack the crossbow on the shield.
Okay. Yeah, no, you see, like, you shoot, it lands we say, and you see Misty brandish the wand, and her other hand starts crackling with lightning.
I like to think it's the Thor moment, where it's like her fucking eyes just start glowing, her hair is fucking going wild.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, like, her hair is kind of lifting up on its own, like, getting statically charged. So, what is...
Come out, wherever you are.
Bring me Strahd!
By the way, I'm walking very clearly out in the open from the direction
Yeah.
of where the
Yeah,
arrow, the bolt came from.
Yeah, Misty, you see a white shape coming towards you.
Oh, it's pale vampires. I told 100 feet of lightning. Blast in it. Bolt.
Okay. So, thankfully, Igor doesn't have to do anything because he's further than 100 feet away.
Yeah.
Like, when you notice him, he's about...
The forest gets caught on fire.
You're not in it's not a forest, like, area you're in. You're in, like, it's like the kind of grassland, like hills, like grassy hills. So, yeah, no, the grass, lights on fire, but,
Oh god, we've started a wildfire. Again!
Yeah,
Fine.
but it's like
Fire.
Igor was about 200 feet away when Misty noticed him, and so he just shoots the lightning bolt. And it only travels halfway to him.
I'm pretty sure this is the third fucking time this week we've been involved in some kind of wildfire.
If you count the dragon, then yes.
Mm-hmm.
Misty, she's ready for a vampire to tumble up from somewhere and start screeching in pain because obviously she hit it.
I will say that as Igrof, I assume Igrof moves forward unperturbed.
Yeah, completely unperturbed, just walking straight at Misty, waiting for her to
Yeah.
realize that it is in fact just Igroth fucking with her.
Yeah, by this point you realize that, okay, it's just Igrof. Whatever it is, it's a white-scaled
There's a vampire
dragonborn.
around here. There's a vampire somewhere around here.
Really?
You just shot. Yes.
I just shot you.
What did you see?
Well, I didn't
It was
shoot.
a vampire.
Was it a crossbow bolt between your legs?
You know.
Because I shot the crossbow bolt.
You shot that?
Yeah. I'm a good shot, aren't I?
Rough?
Hey, I didn't hit you.
That was actually a pretty nice shot.
I know, right? I just wanted to surprise you. I saw you ahead of me. I'm like, oh, hey, I'll get Misty's attention. We can walk together. We're going the same way.
Aw. I am looking for a vampire lair currently, actually. And I'm like a really good vampire hunter like yourself. I'm pretty sure that you will be more than helpful in my endeavor.
Well, I'm
So
actually.
yes, you're allowed to go look for me.
Okay. I'm currently following this here particular line of rot that
You're talking
something has
about
created.
all this dying
Yes,
flora
So-
that is caused by a vampire lair.
possibly. Or possibly caused by a necromancer. We don't know the specifics. I'm going to be really honest with you.
Vampires are crowned necromancers.
Well, in a sense,
You
yes,
know?
but in a sense, no.
I am now with here right now with you here with me. I am more than sure then we'll be able to find that vampire. And we're gonna bring him out into the sun, and we're going to let his body dry out and crumble into dust. We got this, you and me. We are the best vampire hunters around, after all.
Sounds like a plan.
Absolutely. And she actually is going to like grab a girl like in like an arm hook and like kind of happily just like starts like just going forward like, oh my god, I'm gonna go look for vampires.
I will say I will have picked up my crossbow bolt as I go past it as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just gonna keep following this line, trying to figure out exactly where what this
So as
area is.
you continue that, the rest of see, Akron is still waiting for Misty to come back, I assume.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a while at this point.
Yeah. And Lucius is... What is Lucius doing?
I'm still doing the blip check.
Okay, yeah. So, Theodore.
Yes. I want
As-
to have. As what?
Go ahead.
Sorry, continue where you
No.
were going.
No.
You
Go ahead.
Go first, and then I'll say what I was saying.
I was going to ask you to roll an investigation.
Oh,
Because you said you were investigating, but then you were talking, so I wanted to hear like what you were going to say, just in case I needed to change anything.
well, I wanted to have Theodore walk to the wizard house.
Okay.
It's gonna have him knock on the door.
Okay. There is no response.
Wait, is it
The little
late?
crystal
Like, is it
the
late
little-
time?
It is afternoon. It is. I would say it's
Okay.
about 3 or 4 in the afternoon.
Okay, that's not bad. Sorry, what were you saying about the crystal?
The crystal has started to glow. Like shortly after you knocked, it started to glow, but like no sound is coming from it.
He's gonna knock in. Hello.
There's no response.
I know there's someone in there. Right, where else would you go?
You hear a sigh from the crystal. What do you want? The wizard
I
isn't
need-
here right now.
Where is he?
Out! I don't know.
I was wondering. Well, he's not here. I was gonna ask for his help with something.
Oh, and what would you need the wizard's help with?
Something magic related.
Are you a wizard?
I am not, but I know a few spells. I was gonna
Really?
ask if he knew anything about. I was gonna just ask and see if there's anything he could do to help me with something.
You notice halfway through your explanation that the gem stops glowing, and towards like the end of your sentence, you hear the door unlock,
Oh,
and like the door like gets dragged open, and there's the small form of Jula, who's actually a bit taller than you, who's standing like, you know magic?
wait, how old is she compared to Theodore?
She's about 16.
Okay, so she's 2 years older.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Kinda,
like I
leaning
said, I
out the
know
door.
a few spells.
Like what?
Well, I know how to cause someone to throw up, and also I know how to cause fear, charm someone, create a floating disc.
Okay. Do you know any rituals?
Does Theodore know any rituals?
I
In your
I don't think-
spells list, it'll be like a book with an R on it. You can't miss it.
Wait, hold on. In my spells list?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you're in your spells list, next
Yeah.
to the spell, you'll see some that have like a diamond with a C, and others
Oh,
that have like a book
okay.
with an R.
Thank you,
You really
Malachi.
can't miss it.
Thanks. No, I don't.
And I just, huffs a bit. Okay, I suppose. So what do you need the wizard's help with?
Well, I was gonna ask and see if there's anything he can do to help me figure out if I could learn any more spells. I'm having a hard time really understanding what other things I could do. I have only known these spells for like years.
No, trust me. This old wizard, he is not one for teaching.
Then why are you here?
What? I thought he could learn. I thought I could learn. It's all it tells me is to study. He
It
just
sounds
throws
like
books
it's
at me.
not being very helpful.
Well, I mean, at least he isn't telling me to tend to the pigs.
Hmm. Well,
Ah,
uh, I mean, I guess not. Look, I don't have any time for this. I was just trying to see if he was here. Clearly not.
well, he went off. Apparently, there's this whole thing he needs to look into.
Ah, I see. That thing. You're wait, you're the apprentice, aren't you?
Uh, duh.
Uh, yeah, I met your dad.
No, really. Can't
Mm-hmm.
say. I can't imagine that was very pleasant.
Not really. It's okay. I'm used to those kinds of people.
Well, I guess that's something. Was there anything else you wanted? I can't
You
let
mind
you
if I
in.
take
Sorry.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm guessing you don't know anything that's going on happening around here either, or do you?
I mean, no. Why would I? I mean, it's not like I've lived here all my life, but I don't know. I don't know magic.
Wait, is she saying that in a way where she's like nervous or anything, or is she just saying that like can I sense there's something off with it?
Roll insights.
Okay. Oh, god damn it. Never mind. It's an 11. I sense nothing.
Yeah, no, you don't really pick up on anything. Like, she did have a weird cadence, I think is the correct term, but that might just have been her being annoyed by people asking it so much.
Hmm. You know, if you're not happy with how things are going, you don't need to stay here.
Oh, and where else would I go? Well,
You
I guess
have a
Jaina's
whole
in the capital.
who?
My sister, Jaina. I don't know where June is. She went off somewhere. Joined a traveling merchant's caravan. Now it's just me.
You shouldn't stick by someone who doesn't really care about teaching you anything. Believe me, I've dealt with people who have really ruined my life, and I don't think that it's worth it.
Well, kind of, just shrugs. Well, if there was nothing else, I have studying to do.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, you too. And she closes the door. and you hear a bunch of locks being locked.
The wizard's not here. He has to be somewhere in town.
So, I will say that it takes a couple of hours for Igroff and Misty to eventually encounter Legacy. Like, the area seems to be fairly sizable.
Yeah.
Like I said, like
That
you
size of
left from
small
two different sides.
island.
Yeah, as I said, it took you about 2 hours to circumvent to the other side where you encounter Legacy, because he went from the other side as well.
Yeah. Well, we have the rough area.
Oh my god, my legs are killing me. I haven't walked this much ever since we get want out of the fucking beanpole.
So now I think we just head directly through the middle and see what we can see.
See,
That would actually
Legacy,
not be a bad idea.
Legacy's, fox form just kind of nods, and starts to touch like straight, like through the dead zone, so to say.
I shall begin making my way through as well, keeping a very perceptive eye open.
Okay. Well, perception. Misty might as well if she is keeping an eye out.
I mean, of course she's keeping an eye out. There's vampires around. What are you talking about?
Indeed.
Yeah.
19.
Okay.
Dirty 20.
Oh, okay.
This bitch.
I mean,
Honestly, no, I'm not very perceptive at all.
yeah, you as you're moving and looking around, and at first it's not super noticeable. Like, sure, things seem a bit dried out and on their way out, but after a while you come to an area where it's just dead. Like, there's some completely just empty patches of just dirt here and there. The ground itself is this odd, like this very odd, unsettling combination of being dry and soggy, which you don't even think should be possible, yet somehow it is. Like, the ground is like dry, and it just kind of like a lot of the dirt just turns into like powder as you step on it. Yet as you step on it, it squelches.
Yep, that's disgusting. There is definitely vampire work at hand in this region. Definitely.
Yeah, like Legacy, even after a while, turns back into human form just so that he actually has boots he can walk in instead of having to be in direct contact with all of it.
Ew. That's disgusting.
Yeah. As you're moving through, Theodore.
Yeah?
As I am quick question. After leaving the windmill tower, what would you have done in the intervening 2 hours?
Okay, so I guess at this point, he would just kind of like, for Theodore, I think Theodore would try and find any. I think he'd just be kind of wanting to find out what's going on, like, immediately once in a row. He'd try and, like, maybe look around the town for anything unusual, anything he notices, or like a trail anywhere. And if not, like, maybe even see if there's any sign of anyone saying anything, or the wizard of anywhere in the city or village? Sorry.
I will say that there are a few people, some mutterings that people have seen the wizard walking around. He seems to be walking around the southern edge of the settlement. Like no one really trusts it. So, like why is he going to all of the affected farms? He's clearly cursing them more. Though some people are actually starting to ask the very real question that maybe he's actually trying to fix it. Though most people are just bitter and a bit confused.
I think I want to look into the fields.
Okay. Yeah, you
And the crops
you wander
and stuff.
over towards the fields. Now, Lucius,
Yep.
in your dotting around, how far would you go? Would you stay close to?
As far as is needed. Like I'm here to discover the source of the magic. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So I will say that at this point you would have been wandering around and you having kind of mapped out okay, now it seems like here it is like that, there it is like that. You've kind of doubled back a bit just to double check some of your earlier findings when you so you're kind of near the same field as Theodore kind of wanders into it. Theodore seems to himself be kind of looking around.
I'm gonna focus on my magic for now, and it's like sort of almost echolocate this magic.
Yeah. Like finding areas where it seems to be stronger, where it seems to be weaker. The weird thing is that it doesn't seem to be a uniform. Like some places where there are closer to the hamlets the magic seems to be stronger compared to some places further out, but even then some places further out seems to be stronger than closer to the hamlet. It is fairly inconsistent, though you are slowly finding a pattern that seems to be that the more life is congregated in an area, the more powerful it seems to be.
But yeah, I'm gonna try my best to just keep following the trail.
Okay. I will say, as with your passive perception, you would notice something like movement out of the corner of your eye. As you kind of, turn your focus, you see a small shape, like kind of a hood drawn up, that is currently kind of moving through the field, like somewhat hunched, clearly trying to literally keep a low profile.
Show yourself, and you will
they're
not be harmed.
they're kind of a bit further off. They're not moving towards you. They're kind of moving past. Do you still say that?
I said, show yourself.
They stop, and they kind of stop, and then they start running.
I
They're
book it.
further off into the
I
field.
book it after them. I book it after them.
Okay. Theodore, you just notice Lucius being kind of hunched on the ground a bit, kind of, studying the ground, it seems. And then suddenly he just says that, and then he just starts running.
Oh,
At first you thought he was talking to you, but then he's running off in a different direction.
I think I'm gonna go after him.
Seb,
Yes.
how far away is it?
I would say, let's see, you're running, I would say right now about 60 feet.
Intelligence saving throw.
All right. Intelligence saving throw. That is a natural 1.
All right, they fail. So let's just hope this doesn't kill. But I'm mainly doing this.
I mean, it was a natural 1, so it's a crit.
I don't know how everyone does that differently. But am I rolling 6 dice, Deb, or am I rolling 3?
I mean, I died on a crit because I fucking critically failed my save. You can't just change the play.
Seb, am I rolling 6 dice or am I rolling 3?
You know what? Just for fun, roll 6 dice.
Great, I'm gonna kill this person. Right. So the 3. Okay. They take 20 psychic damage,
Mm.
and for the next 6 seconds, they can either move, perform an action, or perform a bonus action. They get no reactions.
Yeah.
Tasha's
So,
mind away.
Yeah, you cast the spell, you hear a scream, and the figure just falls. Like they are mid-run, just face plants.
They look dead.
They're not moving.
I'm gonna go over.
Okay. Yeah, you as they fell, their hood fell down, and you see a small 16-year-old girl with blonde hair.
You did not.
She appears to be unconscious.
She's unconscious, but she's still alive. Does she have a pulse?
Roll medicine.
Okay, he can kill minors. What?
That's 17.
It's faint, but it's still there.
Okay, good.
She's currently like bleeding from like her left eye and her nose, but
I'm just gonna sit, treat the wound, but yeah.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna leave it off there for now.
I just realized I cast that at the wrong level.
Oh,
Wait,
Oh.
did I? Hold up. I
it's
need
supposed
to
to be
change.
more damage?
No, I don't think so. Actually, hold up. It's weird. No, I rolled the right dice. I did roll the right dice. Ignore me.
Okay. But yes.